The story is about a girl named Erin, who can see who had sexual intercourse with who, which ruins her life, and she was forced to live in hiding to avoid causing trouble. Erin had always possessed an extraordinary yet troublesome ability. Ever since she was a child, she could see people's private connections with one another. But this power became a curse the day she accidentally revealed to her mother that her father was cheating with her aunt. Enraged by the betrayal, Erin's mother murdered her husband in cold blood. That day, Erin realized her so-called gift could destroy lives. Racked with guilt, Erin tried several times to end her own life, only to be mysteriously saved each time, as if some unknown force wanted her to keep living or suffer. Since death refused to take her, Erin decided to search for a cure, hoping to live a normal life. Around the same time, a woman in a nearby apartment complex was murdered. Detective Han took charge of the investigation. When Erin saw news of the murder on TV, she noticed a suspicious man wearing a helmet outside her apartment building, and strangely, he had only one sex line. Thinking he could be the killer, she called the police. But to her embarrassment, the man turned out to be her neighbor's new boyfriend. Elsewhere, Detective Han returned home and met his teenage niece, Sam, who was desperately asking him for money. Han became suspicious after noticing bruises on her body, but Sam refused to explain. Soon afterward, Han received information that an anonymous call had come from his neighborhood about the recent murder. He remembered Erin's nervous behavior and went to question her. Erin claimed she had simply misunderstood things and mistook an innocent man for a criminal. Meanwhile, Sam was being brutally bullied at school. A classmate named Namkyu threatened her to bring more money or risk another beating. Terrified and desperate, Sam briefly considered robbing an elderly woman, but her conscience wouldn't let her go through with it. At the same time, Erin once again spotted the helmeted man loitering near her building. Around that time, Han learned that a man living in the building next to Erin's had once dated the murder victim. Suspicious, Han's detective colleague went to check the man's apartment, only to find it eerily arranged like a psychopath's lair. Before he could report much, the man, who was silently hiding inside, attacked him with an iron rod. Putting on his helmet once again, the man left to hunt for his next victim. Erin saw him heading toward the woman who lived directly across from her apartment. Summoning all her courage, Erin stepped outside for the first time in ages, determined to save the woman before it was too late. Inside the apartment, the helmeted man revealed his twisted ability. He too could see people's sexual histories. Obsessed and enraged after discovering how the woman had multiple affairs and had cheated on him in the past, he believed she deserved to die. Erin appears inside the woman's apartment just in time, clutching a kitchen knife in her trembling hands. Terrified but determined to save the woman, she confronts the helmeted man. Sensing her fear, he overpowers her and stabs her instead, but before he can finish her off, the woman fights back desperately to protect both herself and Erin. At that very moment, Detective Han arrives in the building and finds Erin's apartment door open. Inside, he finds a strange map marking multiple locations. Just then, he hears a piercing scream from the neighboring building. Rushing toward the window, he finds two women fighting for their lives against a man. Han draws his revolver and shoots the attacker in the arm, saving the two women. Backup arrives quickly. As everyone receives medical care, Erin realizes for the first time that her curse might not only destroy, it can also save people, if she uses it the right way. At the same time, she receives a message from an unknown person claiming to have the same ability as her and wants to meet Erin. Later, Han meets Erin to thank her for her bravery. Impressed, she stepped up despite being a shut-in introvert. Unexpectedly, Han's niece Sam appears, and she already seems to know Erin. The next morning at school, Sam is once again mocked by her bullies. They tease her about a love letter she wrote and begin to beat her, until their homeroom teacher, Mississippi Jean, arrives and stops them. After classes end, Sam finds a strange pair of glasses in an open locker. Back home, she tries them on and notices a strange glowing line above her own head, something she can't physically touch. When she looks at Han, dozens of romantic connections float above him, horrifying her. Confused and panicked, she runs out of the house. As she wanders through crowded streets, she gradually understands what those lines mean: the number of people someone has been intimate with. The next morning on her way to school, Han offers her a ride, but Sam refuses, disgusted by his high body count. At school, she realizes nearly all the students have lines above their heads, everyone's sexually active. She then makes a shocking discovery. Her bully Namkyu has been secretly involved with a teacher. Meanwhile, Han digs deeper into the helmet killer's motive. Although the suspect, Mr. Ho, is already dead, Han can't shake the feeling that something is off. While checking Mr. Ho's apartment, Han finds strange glowing markings scrawled across the walls. Curious, he searches through Mr. Ho's belongings and notices that the glasses he was wearing during the attack are missing. The next morning, he arrives at Sam's school to learn more about Mr. Ho and meets Miss Jean. Surprisingly, Miss Jean cooperates with Han and reveals that Mr. Ho had recently started wearing glasses and had been acting strangely ever since. Tracing Mr. Ho's last known activities, Han arrives at a bar and learns from the bartender that Mr. Ho only began behaving oddly, obsessively counting something above people's heads, after he started wearing that particular pair of glasses. Aaron returns to school and is placed in the same class as Sam. When Nam-Kyu tries to bully Sam again, Aaron intervenes and frightens her off. But Sam isn't satisfied, she wants revenge. She begins stalking Nam-Kyu and catches her secretly meeting their school teacher at a love hotel. Sam snaps a photo and sends it to her while she is inside the motel room with the teacher, when Nam-Kyu refuses to be blackmailed, claiming that only the adult teacher would get punished, not her. Sam changes tactics. She posts the photo online with their faces hidden, aiming to blackmail the teacher instead. Panicked, the teacher urgently calls Nam-Kyu and learns Sam is behind the threat. Sam's personality changes completely. She begins using the glasses' power to dig up secrets about couples at school, extorting money from them. With cash, she gains popularity and status fast. Aaron notices Sam's sudden transformation and the strange glasses she's wearing. Recognizing them, Aaron confronts Sam, telling her those glasses show the same lines Aaron can naturally see, and warning her they are dangerous. Sam refuses to listen. She declares the glasses belong to her now, and she'll use them however she likes. That night, the frightened schoolteacher decides to secretly pay Sam the ransom. While Sam is at a motel with her crush, she receives a text from the teacher, agreeing to give her the money. Excited by the promise of money and dreaming of spoiling her crush-turned-boyfriend, Sam heads out to buy him a gift. Unbeknownst to her, Nam-Kyu secretly follows. She had overheard Aaron and Sam's earlier conversation about the mysterious glasses, and steals them from Sam when she's distracted. Nam-Kyu puts on the glasses and starts wandering around, shocked, amazed, and entertained as she sees the romantic connections and dating lines above people's heads. But her excitement is short-lived because out of nowhere, she is kidnapped. When Sam learns her bag is missing, she frantically searches for the missing glasses. Furious, she accuses Aaron of stealing them. Ignoring Aaron's warnings, she storms off to school, intent on collecting her blackmail money from the teacher. The teacher begs Sam to give him more time, the amount she's demanding is too high. But Sam refuses, cruelly reminding him that he once stood by while Nam-Kyu tormented her. Just then, the teacher's phone lights up with a message from his wife. She has somehow found out about his affair. Horrified, he assumes Sam has already leaked the information. Meanwhile, Aaron rushes toward the school, sensing Sam may be in danger. But before she can get there, Sam is already falling, pushed from the rooftop by the panicked teacher. Aaron reaches the scene moments later. She sees that Sam's lifeline floating over her body is still intact, meaning she's alive. Aaron immediately calls an ambulance and rushes her to the hospital. When Han arrives, Aaron tells him she believes Sam didn't fall by accident, someone pushed her off the building. The next morning, another teacher at Sam's school finds a strange pair of glasses placed on his desk. Confused, he asks Ms. Jean if they belong to her, but she denies it. Left with no choice, he keeps them, and out of curiosity, tries them on. Instantly, glowing lines appear above everyone's heads. Just then, Han arrives at the school to speak with Ms. Jean. He wants to question Sam's bully Nam-Kyu, but learns she has suddenly gone missing. Instead, he finds Aaron's most recent boyfriend, the boy with a cold attitude who doesn't seem bothered by Sam's accident at all. From him, Han learns Sam and him had recently visited a motel and a nearby shop. Han goes to investigate there and checks the CCTV. Han spots Nam-Kyu stealing Sam's bag. She's wearing the same mysterious glasses, and disappeared into the shadows. Soon after, the scandalous photo of Nam-Kyu and the teacher hits the internet. Not long after that, the teacher is found dead in a school parking lot. Han examines the scene and suspects foul play. This is no suicide. The following day, Han goes to see Aaron, hoping for answers about what happened that night. Aaron asks him to track down the glasses Sam had been wearing. She believes those glasses hold the key to uncovering the truth behind the murders. Meanwhile, the glasses have now passed into the hands of teacher Wooji. While staying at his sister's house for a few weeks, Wooji discovers a horrifying secret. His brother-in-law has been cheating, and one of his mistresses lives in the very same building. Unable to bear watching his sister live in ignorance and pain, Wooji begins stalking his brother-in-law. He eventually confronts him outside their motel room. He panics but begs for one day to fix everything. The next day, Wu Ji is scrolling through the mistress's social media when he makes an even more shocking discovery. The woman is pregnant. Enraged, he rushes back home, only to find his sister crashing her car into someone else's in a fit of rage. Moments later, Wu Ji's brother-in-law arrives, and instead of going to his wife, he runs toward his mistress. There, Wu Ji learns a devastating truth from his own sister. That man is not his sister's real husband, the pregnant woman is his actual wife. Wu Ji's sister has secretly been the other woman all along, she is the one having an affair. Now, both their lives are completely ruined, filled with trauma. That night, Han meets Erin and shows her Sam's diary. Inside are strange scratches and drawings, lines connecting different people's names. Realizing she can no longer stay silent, Erin finally tells Han the truth about her curse, and about the magical glasses that allow others to see the same private connections that she naturally sees. The next morning, another teacher from Sam's school, Ms. Mi, somehow gets hold of the cursed glasses. Just like the others before her, she is suddenly able to see people's hidden connections and forbidden secret. Around the same time, Erin tells her new friends she has decided to start working at a hotel. When she begins her new job, her friends, Oh and another girl, visit her, teasing her about how boring the work is. During their visit, a mysterious woman arrives alone, wearing a wig. Erin's friend Oh recognizes her instantly. It's Teacher Mi. It turns out Mi has been secretly visiting this motel every day. It's her private escape from her dull, uneventful life, and it is also where she first found the glasses that changed everything. Since then, her days have felt more exciting. She's even developed a risky crush on another male teacher at school. While Han continues to investigate the strange series of incidents, now aware of the lines himself, Mi's obsession begins to spiral. The next day, Mi once again arrives at the motel. Erin overhears her loudly bragging to herself about being with many men, clearly trying to boost her confidence. But when a man checks into the neighboring room, Mi peeks through a small hole in the wall and gets the shock of her life. It's the male teacher she secretly likes. She watches in disbelief as he meets privately with another woman. Mi's excitement twists into jealousy and rage. She storms to the counter, extends her stay, and secretly slips drugs into a water bottle that she knows will be served to the woman. The following day, when the woman arrives at the motel, Mi follows her into the hallway, violently attacks and ties her up, then steals her clothes. Disguised as the woman, Mi sneaks into her crush's room. The teacher is stunned to see a fellow school staff member standing in his motel room. Frightened, he tries to escape, but Mi snaps, throwing a heavy stapler at his head. He collapses. Driven by delusion, she starts kissing him obsessively, even as blood soaks through the bedsheets. When she realizes he's dying, she panics and tries a bizarre, secret method to revive him, but ends up making him bleed out even faster. Once she realizes he is truly dead, Mi breaks down. Believing her life is now over too, she begins stabbing herself with the stapler in a complete breakdown. Later, Erin enters the rooms on cleaning duty. The woman Mi tied up manages to crawl out and tells Erin everything that happened. Police arrive shortly after. They find Teacher Mi's lifeless body in the motel bathtub, but strangely, the glasses are missing again. Han goes to see Erin and asks if Mi's case is also connected to the glasses. Erin firmly believes so. She argues that ever since Mi started wearing them, her personality changed drastically, almost as if the glasses were controlling her mind. Erin warns Han to be careful and never wear them himself. But later that night, after everyone leaves the crime scene, Han sneaks back into the motel. He drains the bloody bathtub, and finds the missing glasses at the bottom. Despite Erin's warning, he puts them on, curious to learn the truth for himself. Instantly, he sees glowing lines over his own head, and over everyone else's. Confused, he even tests Sam's new boyfriend, wanting to know if he was responsible for the line above Sam's head, but their lines don't connect. At the same time, a student named Gina from Sam's class arrives at the police station, wearing 4 lines over her head. She files a complaint, saying her male friends may have taken advantage of her after making her drink alcohol. What startles Han is that she insists she's still a virgin. The next morning, Han heads to the school to investigate. He meets Ms. Jean and is surprised to see no lines above her head at all, something extremely rare. He tells her about Gina's case and speaks with the boy who took Gina home, but the boy acts calm and indifferent, refusing to admit anything. Just then, Erin walks by and sees Han wearing the glasses. She explodes with anger, furious that he ignored her warning, especially since every murder so far has been committed under the influence of the glasses. Han refuses to take them off or hand them over, insisting he must understand how the glasses are turning people into killers. Before their argument can escalate, Ms. Jean interrupts, causing Aaron to storm off in frustration. Han awkwardly tries to use the moment to ask Ms. Jean out on a date, but loses his courage halfway and backs out. Just then, we learn a shocking twist. Ms. Jean can also see the lines, without wearing any glasses, just like Aaron. Han continues working on Gina's case, determined to get justice for her, but there are holes in her statement, and even with the help of the glasses, Han can't catch the culprit. The lines over her suspected classmate's head don't match. When he meets Aaron, however, she insists that Gina is telling the truth. A few days earlier she saw no lines above Gina's head, so jumping to 4 lines overnight is a major red flag. Han visits the suspect's apartment. At first, nothing seems off, until a small clue drives him to search the trash bin outside. There, he finds a blood-stained bedsheet. The suspect is brought into the police station but pretends to know nothing. Han pulls CCTV footage from outside the boy's apartment and spots 4 of his classmates, all with multiple glowing lines over their heads. He keeps watching and notices them returning back with 1 line increased. The next morning, Aaron notices that the lines over these boys' heads are now connected directly to Gina. All 5 students are brought in for questioning. Each one acts innocent, but Han uses his interrogation skills to pressure one of them into slipping up. Eventually, all 5 confess to assaulting Gina while she was unconscious. At school, Aaron's new classmate Yu, who has a quiet crush on her, brings her to his secret hideout, the school's unused swimming pool. He remembers she likes empty, peaceful places. Suddenly, Aaron jumps into the water and stays submerged for several seconds. Yu panics and jumps in to pull her out, but Aaron is laughing. She explains she just wanted to spend a few moments where she couldn't see any private lines above people's heads. Yu surprisingly doesn't freak out. He calmly believes her perspective of what she sees, even though it feels like complete science fiction. Later that night, Aaron returns alone to the locked hotel crime scene, convinced someone must have planted the glasses in the bathtub on purpose for Han to find. As she's investigating, Yu unexpectedly shows up. Aaron is startled, but he says he saw her come in and got worried. When she tries to scare him away, he hugs her, and something shifts between them. Aaron, no longer afraid of getting a line from him, leans in and kisses Yu. Meanwhile, Han goes to visit his mentally ill father in the hospital, but discovers he's gone missing. CCTV shows a woman carrying him out of the hospital. To Han's shock, the woman is Teacher Jean, Aaron's homeroom teacher. Right then, Han receives a photo of Sam from an unknown number, the message hinting that she is next. Han races to Sam's hospital room. Thankfully, he finds her asleep in bed. But what happens next is about to become the biggest shock of Han's entire life. When Han notices the glowing line above Sam's head start to shift, he turns, and is horrified to see his own father standing right behind him. He struggles to believe what's right in front of him, but the moment his father touches Sam, Han snaps. Enraged, he throws his father across the room, almost ready to do the unthinkable, but he can't bring himself to kill the man who raised him. The next night, Aaron meets Yu. They plan to hang out casually, but Aaron has made her own decision. She wants to give herself completely to Yu, believing he is the only person worthy of being her first and last. She confesses her feelings, they kiss and accept each other fully. Afterwards, while heading home from the hotel, Yu steps out to get Aaron something to eat when she says she's hungry. Standing alone, Aaron suddenly realizes she finally has a line above her own head, just like everyone else. Then, to her horror, the line starts shaking and it disappears. Sensing something wrong, she looks for Yu, and finds him brutally murdered in a nearby alley, pierced to death with multiple iron rods, only because he had become connected to her. Aaron, broken, believes she is truly cursed and destined to be alone forever. While she mourns Yu's death, she receives a video from an unknown number, showing her other female friend kidnapped. The sender commands her to come to a specific location. Elsewhere, a married woman receives a video of her husband cheating with a college student. The student, too, is being harassed by people online for being involved with a professor. Unable to bear her husband's betrayal, the wife attempts to kill herself, but is saved by Teacher Jean, who then leaves the woman a pair of cursed glasses, just to make everything more entertaining. Aaron rushes to Han and tells him everything. Han becomes convinced someone is orchestrating these tragedies, especially after seeing CCTV footage showing Miss Jean. They return to the school that Jean works at. Inside, a single classroom light glows. Aaron runs in first, looking for her kidnapped friend. She disappears into a room before Han can catch up. Aaron successfully finds her friend and frees her, but when they step back into the hallway, Han is nowhere to be found, and the school suddenly feels different. Time and space itself seem warped. They soon realize they are trapped inside the school building in some bizarre alternate dimension. Han, meanwhile, has already been pulled into another realm, Jin's dimension, where she reveals herself as the true mastermind behind all the cursed lines. Her goal? To drown the world in red, feeding on emotional suffering. She taunts Han, encouraging him to murder his own father to free Sam, but when Han tries to attack Jin instead, nothing works. Bullets pass through her. She isn't human. Back on the rooftop in the Twisted School, Eren learns that her friend was also given a pair of cursed glasses by Jin, and manipulation has turned her against Eren. Thankfully, Eren manages to knock the glasses off and crush them, instantly freeing her friend, who then forgets everything. Suddenly, Eren's blood spills, rises into the air, and transports her straight into Jin's realm. At the moment Jin is about to kill Han. Seeing Eren, Jin pauses. Around them, all of Jin's pawns appear, circling them. Jin lunges to kill Eren, but out of nowhere, Eren's own mother appears, shielding her. She finally confesses the truth. She also possessed the cursed glasses. And she didn't kill Eren's father because of Eren. Eren lunges forward to attack Jin, but Jin proves far stronger. Eren is overpowered and injured. Smirking, Jin reveals her final plan. Using her powers, she draws out a drop of Eren's divine blood and forges it into a terrifying weapon, the Eyes of God, a cursed device that will make everyone in the world able to see the lines, exposing the truth of people's past and desires forever. Once activated, the Eyes of God shatter reality. Now that every single person can see the glowing private connections over others, the world quickly descends into utter chaos. Strangers wear masks, terrified and ashamed to show their faces in public. Couples break up, families shatter. People are judged not for who they are, but for the number lines floating above them. Only Sam, who was reborn after breaking her cursed line, stands pure, with no line above her head. Yet she still suffers the humiliation of being known as the niece of a player like Han. As for Eren, she once again withdraws from society. Alone. Isolated. Haunted by the memories of those she loved and lost. She tells herself this is the fate she deserves, to live in solitude and watch the world burn from afar. But she is not the only one aching with emptiness. Someone is still thinking about Eren. That someone is Jin. Thanks for watching till the end. I hope you had enjoyed it.